A new study says a controversial guardrail system, which is used on our Texas highways, is more likely to cause injury and death than its predecessor.
The safety device has been the focus of numerous Fox 4 investigations. Becky Oliver is in tonight with an update. Becky.
Well, this guardrail system is manufactured by Trinity Industries of Dallas. The federal government says it's an approved product for our highways, but now 2 states are saying they will stop using any new devices. And more accident victims and their families have filed lawsuits in Dallas County, claiming the safety device is failing.
It was late on an August evening 2012. Aaron Roush was on his way home from a charity event.
I just fell asleep and veered off the road.
Off the road and into the guardrail.
I remember impact, a lot of smoke. I looked at the driver's side door and it wouldn't open, but I could see the ground.
The guardrail impaled Roush's Lexus and ended up inside his vehicle. Paramedics rushed him to Methodist Hospital, where doctors performed 3 surgeries in 6 days, putting titanium rods in both legs. The once active athlete spent 6 months in a wheelchair.
The rod, they put it in right here, and it goes all the way the length of the leg.
2 years later, Roush shows us the scars from that night. Looking at the photos, he wonders how he survived. He's now suing Trinity, claiming the guardrail was defective and unreasonably dangerous.
If this is supposed to be a safety device that absorbs energy and instead it's acting as a lance and penetrating the vehicle, there's something wrong with the product.
Roush joins a slew of other victims across Texas and the U.S. who've filed lawsuits against Trinity. They all have similar claims.
With this thing locked up, it just folded.
They say the safety device was altered from the original design, and now it does not perform as intended.
The next thing I knew, I hit the guardrail.
They're accident victims like Lisa Antonicelli. She had a seizure on Highway 80 near Mesquite and hit the guardrail. It ripped through her car.
I have days when I say, why did I live through this?
After 28 operations, she's now a paraplegic.
I messed up. I fell asleep.
Isaac Puente of San Antonio dozed off on his way to work.
I said, I don't know, it's just a matter of time between the whole cab gets on fire.
The guardrail impaled Puente's truck, going through the engine, into the cab, and out the back. He suffered internal injuries, a broken femur.
Because I don't think it was a freak accident.
And Lena Tucker's husband Shane also fell asleep and struck a guardrail on Highway 281. The guardrail penetrated the passenger compartment, killing him instantly.
He hit the head. He hit the part that was supposed to curl the guardrail away.
Trinity filed responses to all of the lawsuits denying the allegations. And although the company declined comment for this story, in a previous written statement, Trinity said it's impossible to determine how the end terminal system performed in an accident without knowing the vehicle's weight, its speed and orientation, and the angle at which the end terminal was impacted. But now, for the first time, a study is out analyzing data from accidents in Missouri and Ohio, and it shows the Trinity system is more likely to cause injury and death.
We're really concerned about the lack of reliable data from a bigger picture.
Sean Kane is executive director of the Safety Institute. This nonprofit, along with the state of Missouri, helped fund a University of Alabama study that looked at 8 years of accident data. Kane admits the study is small, but he says the findings raise some eyebrows.
Fatal crashes involving the ET Plus were occurring at a rate 3 times greater than its predecessor, the ET2000. And with respect to injury crashes, it was nearly 2 times as great. And those are significant.
Just days after the Alabama study was made public, the state of Massachusetts decided to halt the use of the Trinity product until it conducts additional research. And the state of Missouri reports it is immediately taking the Trinity ET Plus off the approved products list, removing it from projects currently under construction and prohibiting its use on any future projects. But Missouri says that decision was not based on the Alabama study, but on its own internal review of the product. Earlier this year, Nevada also pulled the ET Plus from its approved products list.
For a long time, like I said, I just felt blessed and lucky.
Aaron Rausch says his upbeat attitude helped him get through all of those surgeries and rehab. But the more he's learned, those feelings have changed.
But once I started reading about the stories, there's also a frustration and an anger that has almost replaced that feeling of blessed, because it didn't have to be that way.
Now, the state of Texas has no plans to stop using the Trinity system. A spokesperson from the Department of Transportation tells us it remains a federally approved product, so TxDOT will continue to allow it on Texas highways, but the state is monitoring the performance of these safety devices to determine if further action is warranted. Now, the Federal Highway Administration reviewed allegations the ET Plus was malfunctioning and reaffirmed its acceptance of the device in 2012 and again this year.
Okay, Becky, so the people you interview for this story are I don't want to say they're all personal injury cases, but
some are products liability.
Yeah, but there's another story you've done on the whistleblower lawsuit that's more of a federal proceeding. What's the status
And
of
that one is completely separate. The federal whistleblower case went to trial, as you may recall, back in July. The judge tossed it out, declared a mistrial, saying that the case was replete with errors, gamesmanship, and inappropriate conduct. Round 2 of that case begins next week, and Marshall will be there and we'll tell you what happens.
Okay, Becky, thanks.